Hi, and welcome to the WHYcast, episode 22. I'm Nancy.
I'm Matt.
And we are the hosts of the only podcast about a hacker camp in the universe. This volunteer-run event will take place this year in the Netherlands, approximately 42 kilometers north of Amsterdam, from August 8 to 12, 2025. So, Ad, what are we talking about today?
Well, first off, are we changing the script now? Is it now north of Amsterdam?
Well, the thing is, so we have a listener who has listened to all the podcasts, which is amazing. And he said, yeah, like from the first episode, I was like, no, it's not above Amsterdam. It's north of Amsterdam because above Amsterdam is in the air. And I was like, okay, Koen,
Fair.
you tell this now after almost 21 weeks of episodes. You have my phone number, you have my email address, you have everything to reach out to me and tell me this.
Us even. Yes.
So now, finally, at Hacker Hotel, he told me. So thanks, Koen, for finally letting us know. So yes, I changed the opening script now.
Okay.
Like,
Fair.
Yep. But what are we talking about today?
Well, we have the news. We'll talk a bit about what we did at Hacker Hotel. But there's more where to hack because tomorrow we'll be together again with the whole group. We have a very cool interview. Something viral in there. We have the vacancy of the week. We have messages from listeners. But first, I think we should look at the news.
Yes. So how cool was it at Hacker Hotel? We have the banana.
Awesome. Yes.
We have the banana badge. Pew, 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 pew.
Yeah, this side looks like a banana. This side looks like electronics. And together, it's the banana badge.
It's the banana badge. Yeah, it was very cool. It came in a fruit packaging, and I think it was awesome. And you could shoot each other with it. So, and yeah, I think there are not enough words to describe what went on there. Best thing is go to the website, go to ccc.media.de to
All the way around. Media.cpc.de. But oh well, there you can find.
Sorry, my German friends.
I think they will forgive us. I hope they will forgive us because they did an amazing job, and I think pretty much all talks are already live.
Yeah, except for the TLP Reds, of course, and the things that happen in the OTR room.
Yeah.
But there's loads of cool presentations and things going on. I had a blast seeing old and new friends, and we had a special Y room where we had a full wall of, like Kanban style tiny task lists. And
stuff got done there. I mean...
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
We had addresses checked. We had Y placed on the numerous event sites that are all over the interwebs. I don't even recall everything that happened because it went on all day. We will put the leftover tiny tasks in the show notes for now. We will probably transfer them to the wiki as well. That's not done yet. But that is also a cool tiny task to do during our live orgameet, I guess, coming Saturday, which is tomorrow when this comes out.
Exactly. And even though there were 400 of us at the event, there were still people buying tickets. So we are now at less than 1,400 tickets left.
Yes. Yeah, it's still steady growing, the amount of people that are coming, which is amazing. And we haven't really officially reached out yet to all the hacker spaces around Europe and the world. Also, we still have some ideas to also try and attract more young people, more students by reaching out to universities and other schools that do cyber security, privacy things. So I guess that we're still at a steady pace. So it's amazing to see that so many people are enthusiastic to come to the events.
Really and cool. I want to mention that from the day this comes out, there is a 1 week at the current price left.
Oh, thank you for that. Yeah. at the last day is the 28th of February.
Yep.
And after that, the ticket price will go up 20 euros. So yeah, if you want to buy your tickets on a lower price than the final price, now's the time. Yep.
Definitely.
Something that is also very cool that I really, really enjoy is that, of course, we are on a different terrain than last event, MCH 2022. But at MCH 2022, we had a supermarket. And this was recorded by many of the attendees and angels and people and everybody. Like, oh my goodness, it's so awesome that we have a supermarket on the terrain.
It was so
Uh,
convenient.
it was
Yeah.
so convenient, and they had actually pretty decent assortment of everything. Netsmurf reached out to them. Is it possible to relocate your camping supermarkets to the WHY2025 terrain?
Yeah.
And lo and behold, they said yes. So we will have a supermarket at Y 2025, and I'm really happy with that. Last weekend, I heard from an international guest at Hacker Hotel that he was a bit sad because his credit card or card was not accepted last time. But they assured us that this time they will have all cards accepted, or at least the
The
most
major. Yeah.
the major common ones. So I think that is awesome news. They have like fresh baked stuff every morning, and it's awesome. So I'm very happy that they're back.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people will agree with me on that.
Definitely. Definitely.
Yeah, and also, the first permits are out of the door. Still working on it, but we are still we still have some work to do with team permits, but it's going the right way. So because we have numerous different permits that we have to arrange, so
Mhm.
that is all on the right track as well. So yeah, it looks like we're on the right track.
Yeah, we just need to fix the little parking thing, but that's all.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but you already mentioned tomorrow.
Haha. So where
Tomorrow,
will we hack? Each week, we will share where you can find why-minded people, where to hack.
tomorrow we will be at Hack 42 in Arnhem.
Arnhem.
Yes,
Yep.
for another in-person orgameet. So we're gonna see all our friends again.
Yay! Because it's been a week already, so we need to see them again, right?
Yeah.
We still have cookies. We still have buttons because there are 5 different types of Y buttons now. So if you come, please make sure that you find me and get some because you can.
Yeah, it's what else? What other excuse do you need other than because you can?
Because you can.
Yep.
Yeah. Also, we are rapidly running out of Y tiaras. So it's a tiara.
It's a tiara.
We want more tiaras, especially the regular ones, which Otto's holding right now for the YouTube viewers, and I have one on my head. But there are also cat themed tiaras that you can just download and then print for yourself.
When printing the cat ear tiara, please check if the build plate is properly covered or that the cat ears are one layer up from the build plate, which could ruin your print.
Top tip of the day. Thanks.
Yep.
Cool, because I saw your better half walking around with the cat ear tiara, so
Yeah, that was
you're
print number
talking from
2
experience.
because the first one was
Right.
therefore yes.
So tomorrow, be there or be square and come and join us at the Orga Meet live Orga Meet in Arnhem.
Yeah.
And
Also, very good to see a hackerspace in real life. But if you can't get enough of that, then 2 weeks later, there is a party at Amersfoort.
Amersfoort.
Yes, there we
Yes.
go. Because Bitlair is opening and having a birthday party on March 8th.
Yes. With a barbecue.
Yeah, there is an entry on their wiki, and if you come, same goes for the Hack42 Orgameet. If you're coming by, we'd love to, but please register on the wiki so we
So we
can
have
make sure
food.
there is enough stuff for you and also to keep the fire department happy because there is a maximum amount.
Yes. So a lot of cool stuff going on the coming couple of weeks.
Oh,
Um, yes.
actually, the Bitlayer barbecue is now full.
Is it a Demi thing? So you can stand outside and wave and drop your birthday presents for Bitlayer. If you signed up on the wiki and you can't make it, please be a good sport and remove yourself so that there's place for someone else. So let's go to our viral nerds now.
Yes, it's not an illness. It's a viral
Nope,
video.
it's a viral video nerds basically. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Luke had a talk at MCH
Hmm.
about non-Euclidean doom, and that video got spread around a lot. It has the most views of any video on the combined channel because it's MCH, it's SHA videos all in one channel,
Hmm.
and this one just completely blew up,
Yep.
and we wondered why.
So it's an interview together with the influencer. I really enjoy that. So here with us today is Luke, and it would be great if you can give a short introduction on who you are and what you're doing and what you did at MCH.
Great. Yeah. So my name is Luke. I run a company where we help airlines reduce the amount of fuel that they burn. So very good to be in sustainability. And yeah, so I have primarily an engineering background. And there's one thing that I remember kind of seeing a while back where John Carmack posted that he accidentally used the wrong value of pi because he did it from memory in the game. And it didn't seem to affect things too much. But of course, it's such a fundamental constant that it should have affected things. And it did, but it affected things in a way that was not visible. So I said, okay, well, what if we make it worse? And that was the start of this.
And can you
And this is the video non-Euclidean doom. What happens to a game when pi is not 3.14159, etc., etc. Because we hadn't mentioned that yet. So we're talking about Doom, the classic game 1993, if I'm correct.
and why did we invite Luke?
His video has a whopping 1.4 million views, which is by far the most viewed video on the channel, on the YouTube channel of Why, and not only Why, the previous camps also used this YouTube channel. There are even more views on media.ccc.de. So there's views. There's a lot of views. And well, we were curious.
And reactions as well.
And reactions, yeah. There's a bunch of comments, 1,400 comments. So we were curious. Okay, what's this video? What's this talk? And who is a brilliant guy making a viral video like this? So when it first was uploaded, like every talk, it just got views like all the other videos, and then something happened. What happened?
So what happened is at some point, someone, and I don't know who this was, reposted the video on Hacker News and other places online. And that really made it, that's that inflection point in the view count. So that really made it go viral because then after that initial post, other people reposted the video, right? And a lot of people, and even people who didn't repost the video, if they saw it in their feed, they watched it. And so this, unknown person who's out there somewhere was like, hey, this is a cool thing that I stumbled across. Let me post it. and from there it went viral.
I'm sharing my screen now. Application window, Google Chrome, and things. There we go. So not a lot happens, and then here at 14th of May, it just exploded somehow. So we're now almost nearing 1.5 million views. It's crazy cool. It's so much fun.
And I
It's
will
awesome.
also say I've done other presentations, but this is my most widely viewed. My other presentations, I think the second best has like 100,000 views. So this is my most viewed presentation.
And did it bring you something as well?
There were a few people who connected with me on LinkedIn who were like, "Hey, I just saw your video. That's really cool." So I thought that was good. I very recently I saw someone who took some of the things I did in the video, and then they did something dynamic. So they made pi dynamic, and as you take damage in the game, the value of pi changes.
Wow.
That is
So the
also
game
funny.
initially plays like it does normally, and as you take damage, it becomes more and more non-Euclidean.
Yeah. Okay. Could we very quickly describe what? First of all, start with the guy, Euclid, mathematician, and what we call Euclidean. What does that mean?
Yeah. So Euclid is a Greek mathematician who developed a lot of really great stuff. A lot of it had to do with geometry. So he wrote a book called Elements, and he described, this fundamental system of Euclidean geometry there. And it's basically a system with a set of axioms that relate to geometric things. So they relate to straight lines. They relate to how do you describe a circle, what angles are equal to each other. So things that like we take for granted because they're axiomatic and we tend to exist in a Euclidean world. We understand things like straight lines. And so that's basically the basis of the system. And one of the things that this relies on is obviously pi is something that has a value that is known. A lot of different proofs of the value. And when you break the value, you break the axioms of geometry as we understand it. And the effect that has is it gives us these, straight lines no longer become straight, and things get kind of like everything starts to kind of shift in terms of space, of three-dimensional space. And so that's kind of it in a nutshell.
Yeah. So basically, if you have non-Euclidean, a straight line isn't necessarily a straight line, or
Yes.
Two lines that should be equal in length might actually not be equal in length once you get close.
That's right.
So it could be bigger on the inside.
That's right.
So is the TARDIS non-Euclidean?
Well, that I think has to do more with travel across space-time. But yeah, I don't know. That's a good question.
But it's something like that at least, yeah. So in your video, in your talk, you were experimenting with okay, what happens if we, well, basically break the laws of maths, of geometry. Is it something that has a serious use, or is it just basically for fun?
I think it's for fun. I don't know of applications where non-Euclidean would give you an advantage because, again, you're kind of breaking a lot of things that we take as consistent and things that reflect the three-dimensional world we live in. But it's possible. Actually, this is a really good question. I'll do some researching after this to see if there are like applications other than fun, applications of non-Euclidean geometry.
We can also ask the listeners if they can come up with something and reply in the comments, or let us know, or let you know.
Mhm.
I do know there is a game that leans on this. I think Superliminal. I think makes use of at least bending realities a bit, where objects suddenly appear bigger or smaller because of the angle you look at them. And there's also some other videos that explain this a bit. Code Parade made a non-Euclidean worlds engine where you can walk into a tunnel that seems to taper off, and at the end you're either bigger or smaller, but it's the wrong way around.
So maybe for art installations, it's also useful. Can imagine.
Yeah.
I mean, we all remember the Azure ideas of the bigger and smaller room and things like that.
Actually, so I there is one thing where we have a non-Euclidean application. I just remembered, and that's the theory of general relativity. So Einstein's theory of general relativity is non-Euclidean. Physical space is not Euclidean. And Euclidean space is it's an approximation for our reality, but if there's the strength of gravity, of the strength of the gravitational field does actually change it. So it is general relativity, weirdly, is non-Euclidean.
Cool. Okay.
There is a reason I have company stickers of my own company about serious gaming. That has a quote of Einstein: "Play is the highest form of research." So I guess by playing around with stuff like this, we can actually learn from it as well. So, yeah, cool.
What else do you remember from MCH when you did the talk, the camp itself? Did you have fun?
Yes, yeah. This wasn't my first camp. I've been to others in the past. I think it's probably the most fun and most kind of interesting event, really, that as a category. So there's always things that are interesting. And last time we did Whiskey Leaks, which was a whiskey tasting, and it was funny because we started and then we left and there were still people doing it, and then we came back and there were when we were there we had I don't know, maybe 4 bottles or 5 bottles, and when we came back there was 20 bottles. So this thing that we started and we walked away for a bit, and then we came back and we're wow, this was actually a much bigger thing, and most of those bottles were drank, so we don't know how many people were there. But it was just kind of funny to kind of plant this seed, then leave, and then come back, and we weren't expecting it. We were expecting it to
I know Milliways is planning this again, so
yes.
It will be there again this edition as well. So yeah, cool. And other ideas of things or a nice conversation you had after your talk, or?
I like the music as well. The musical acts I thought were really good. I liked the
Symphony of Fire.
The Symphony of Fire, yes. That was also really good. But yeah, it was that was also very, very memorable.
Are you joining us next time?
I'm still looking how my schedule for this year with work evolves, but I would love to, but I have to see. And I know the tickets are being sold, so I would love to, and I'll try, but I have to see how things go with work.
Yeah, we can imagine. I hope you can make it. That would be awesome to meet in person as well. Okay, so one of the things that we're also trying to promote in the WHYcast is the fact that we would love to see more proposals for nice workshops, maybe the future viral video of WHYcamp. If someone is a bit hesitant, so should I propose something as a speaker, what would you say to them?
I would say that hesitancy is natural because you're putting something together which then gets evaluated, right? So there's a fear that what
Mm,
you put together won't even make it there,
mm,
right? That's one fear. The other fear is that you'll that almost no one will attend your talk, right? Is perhaps another fear. But you know what? I think that you have to set that hesitancy aside. And I think that, this is one of those things where there isn't really harm to submit something and to work on it and practice if you feel like you need to practice. And, it just takes a little bit of time. So I would encourage people to submit talks if they're on the fence of whether to do so, because again, I think it's a worthwhile thing to try to do and provide an experience for people. And like my talk got scheduled to like a pretty later evening time slot. It might have been at 10 o'clock at night. Um, and, I thought like, okay, well, like, who's going to be attending talks at 10 o'clock at night? But it was a pretty full room. So it was kind of nice to see that, as well. So yeah, I would say, if you're on the fence, you should do it. I think the only kind of downside here is just your time. So, I think it's worthwhile to submit.
very cool. Yeah. And also, reason number 3 that people might be hesitant is imposter syndrome. I think we will have a field full of people with imposter syndrome. So first off, you're not alone. Second off, it's not very helpful to let the imposters prevail. So try to get rid of that, or at least silence it a little bit. So because I think getting on a stage and talking about something that you are passionate about is truly an enriching thing to do. So
Yeah, it's also nice that, the talks tend to be non-commercial, right? I
mhm,
think a lot of what we see in other events, and a lot of stuff that is published tends to have a commercial element to it, right? We're
yeah,
trying to sell something, or it's marketing. This is something that's very much not that. The talks at camp tends to be very non-commercial. In fact, I
yeah.
think you don't want commercial talks, right? Because then it just becomes a corporate conference. But so I think that's the other thing is like, well, people are just doing things for the sake of sharing them, which I think is another thing that makes the talks and the event great.
And there is an audience for everything and everyone. Yeah, cool to hear. Um, you said that MCH wasn't your first camp. I don't know if it was. Have you been on prior Dutch camps as well?
I've been on prior Dutch camps as well,
Ah, okay.
and the prior German camps and prior American camps. So yeah, I've been to a few of these, and like they seem to grow every year, so there seem to be more of them. So I'd love to go to some other country camps as well. But yeah, no, it's been like I said before, it's definitely categorically the most enjoyable event. So yeah, I'll definitely go to them in the future as well.
Cool. Is there any other last thought thing you want to share, or something that pops to mind that you want to tell us?
I don't think so. I would just say that, it's good I'd love to encourage other people to share and go out there and show something, do something interesting. And, don't worry too much about, whether it doesn't have to have the biggest impact. It can just be cool to share for the sake of sharing. So I would encourage people to do that. And the other thing about camp, of course, is it doesn't have to be a presentation. There's workshops, there's all these other types of events. And so, maybe it's a workshop instead of a talk, or, maybe you're just getting everyone together to talk about something, and so it lends itself towards other types of kind of interactivity other than just the talks.
Yeah, very nice addition as well. Ad, do you also have a final question or something you want to add?
No, I just been gathering the links. I did find the video by NeoZeed on the dynamically changing and recalculating the sign tables for Doom based on damage. So I'll add that in the show notes, as well as all the links to all the things that we touched upon.
We will share as much as possible in our show notes, so you can link through to them and find out more. And of course, we will link the very viral video of your presentation, Luc, in this episode on YouTube as well. So, thank you so much for making the time to talk to us. It felt a little bit like, we're having a celebrity. And wish you all the best. And I really hope that you can that it will work out with your schedule to visit us in August this year.
Yeah, thank you for having me, and I'll definitely try to make it, and it'll be great. So thank you so much.
It's good that we have mentioned the CFP again, because I know from team content there are, I think, 40-something, 47, 48 proposals in now, which
That's
is
not enough.
not enough. So please send in your CFPs. Please do so. Because we would love to hear your thoughts on anything. So please go to cfp.why2025.org and send in your proposal before Towel Day, which is 25th of May.
Excellent.
And I know we love deadlines, but please be kind to the volunteers who want to make a great program. They don't want to have them all coming in by the end of May. So if you have an idea, please fill out the CFP and become a speaker.
Yeah, we love deadlines. We love the swooshy sound they make when they go by. But please make sure that your CFP is sent in before the whooshy sound comes by.
Yes, please. Cool.
Yes. Let's park that for now and look at the vacancy of the week. Well, there's a pun for you, because we're still looking for team lead parking.
Yes.
A Dutch citizen for team lead parking, and we promise you will have the best support you can have, because Konmai is on your team.
Yes, and Konmai knows a lot. And also Jeroen from Netsmurf from PL is also there to help you out. And it helps a lot if we have someone as team lead there. Preferably Dutch speaking, preferably Dutch. We're repeating this again for first time listeners. Sorry for the other listeners who have been listening to this vacancy of a couple of weeks now already. But we really need someone for that. Thank you.
If I didn't have a team already, I would do it myself, but I'm not sure I can manage everything at once. So
you're making a podcast each and every week. I think you're wasting enough time on this pet project already.
But it's fun making the podcast with you.
I know.
Yes. And who also likes making the podcast with us, brings us right into the messages from our listeners.
Yep.
Is Florian.
Yes. Also known AKA as Sim. He is part of Team Family Zone because he always brings his kid as well. Dex, who was also there at Hacker Hotel, running around with Chaos Post and having loads of fun making tape duckies. So not duct tape, but ducks with a lot of tape. Tape duck. Yeah.
Tape duck.
So
instead of duct tape. Yep.
I think he's a hacker.
Definitely.
Most definitely. And Robert actually did an interview with him. And then he sent us an email afterwards like, okay, so I did this interview. And then afterwards, all the stories popped up. That's what happens, right?
Yeah.
Because you start thinking about former camps. He was there since 97 at HIP. And then all the old war stories and crazy things that happened just popped in his mind talking to other people.
Yeah.
So he sent us an email with a lot of extra stories. But I think we will just interview him again about these stories.
That I think that's the best thing we can do. But I do recognize this. I mean, you tell your story, the camera turns off, you walk away and you think, wait, I could have said this and
this
this,
and that
this
and
and
that
that,
and that and that.
or I should have said this and that, and then the podcast is out. Yeah, that happens.
So, Sim, don't worry, we will reach out to you for some more interview time. We will probably see you in Arnhem or otherwise on another event or online. So that was the message from Sim, and also we'd like to Sim. It's a small step from Sim to Sync. So we got a personal delivered message from our listeners that it should be north of Amsterdam and not above Amsterdam. So we fixed it.
Yes.
And now go do your team waste thing.
And if you have more feedback for us, you know where to find us. You can put it down in the doobly-doos on the YouTube.
Like,
of course,
subscribe.
You can press all the like and subscribe buttons and make sure to turn on the bell icon so you never miss another episode. Oh, that's a nice button. Nancy was holding up the Y buttons, which you can get in person if you come to Arnhem. If you want to send us an email, you can at WHYcast at WHY2025.org. And thank you so much for listening and staying with us for all these episodes. And with that, we'll hope to see you next Friday.
WHYday.